Hello there, J Music here, and today I'll be giving my thoughts on Marvel Studios' second feature film in Phase 4, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. There will be mild spoilers in this review, so if you haven't watched the movie and don't want to be spoiled, click off the video and come back when you have watched it. But if you have watched it, or you just don't care, feel free to continue on watching. This movie is about Shang-Chi confronting the past he thought he left behind when he was drawn into the web of the mysterious Ten Rings. I'll say straight out, I quite enjoyed this movie. First off, the main highlight of this movie was the hand-to-hand action sequences. It was definitely one of the best shot action sequences, if not the best action sequences in the whole MCU. I prefer this movie's style of capturing the action compared to the shaky camera effects from Captain America the Winter Soldier because it just makes the action look much cleaner and engaging. I could see every action and every move clearly. This was good considering that this movie also implements Chinese martial arts. As someone who has a bit of Chinese martial arts knowledge, I was able to follow the action and identify some of the martial art styles, which make the action scenes really engaging for me. On that same topic of Chinese culture, it was very present throughout the movie. Language, wardrobe, portrayal of family, mythical creatures, and belief all point toward Chinese culture. As a Chinese person myself, I appreciated all of it. Is it a big thing that made me really like this movie? No, not at all. But it certainly does add on to the sense of relatability that made me enjoy this movie even more. Now, talking about some of the characters, Shang-Chi or Shang's character was the one that brought on the most action and has a very charismatic personality. Simu Liu really did a good job on the action scenes considering he wasn't a martial artist in the first place, while also doing a good job acting out the emotional and deep scenes where you can feel his haunted past. I do however feel that he was sometimes overshadowed by the other characters in the movie. Katie, Sean's best friend and probably the best portrayal of a platonic male-female friendship in the MCU so far, she's just this normal person getting roped into this by accident while trying to find herself. She also adds to the movie by being the comic relief at the same time. Sometimes the comic relief moments felt really forced and unrealistic that it does take the momentum out of some scenes, which happens to be a recurring problem for the MCU. Like I said before, it is okay to have humor, just not when it takes the momentum out of an intense scenes. Xialing, played by Meng Zhang, was a surprising standout for me. She has an arc in this movie that I feel represents the Chinese traditionalistic views on females, which again, the fact that all these aspects of the Chinese culture are in this movie made me appreciate the movie more. Everyone in this movie was good in their own way. The cast all did really well in my opinion, but the one character and performance that totally hooked me was the character of Wenwu, played by Tony Leung. His character was just written in such a great way. I like how human his motivation was, and that is what makes him relatable and make us care about his character. The very good written character was also backed up by very strong acting from Tony Leung, who really brought a lot of emotion and feelings to the character. For all those reasons, Wen-Wu, in my opinion, is in the top 3 best MCU villains. The story and the pacing of this movie were mostly done really well. I like how they utilized the flashback sequence and the way it weaved through time. The writing of this movie was really good in a sense that it connected me to the characters early on in the movie as they are quite relatable in the human aspect. The one problem I did have with the pacing was that the last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie felt quite rushed. I just thought more time could have been given to wrap up the movie better. I also found that the final CGI big battle was a bit overwhelming on my first viewing. Not that I didn't like it, I did, but it just felt like too much for me. On the same topic about the CGI in this movie, most of the special effects and the CGI look great. Especially some scenes in Talo, it looked beautiful and was enjoyable to look at. Another standout is the special effects for the 10 rings during the action sequences. They are just so enjoyable to look at, and the way they are used is just so creative. There were some iffy moments in the special effects, but they are so small it's possible. Overall, I thought this movie was pretty good. It was definitely better than Black Widow in so many ways, and it's probably in my top 10 or even top 5 MCU movies. So yeah, I like this movie a lot. It is action-packed, has humor and heart, and has that rewatchable element to it too. Now I'm sure that we are going to disagree because we are all different people after all, and no one thinks completely alike. So if you want to share your thoughts, feel free to do so in the comment section below.